Hello everyone and welcome to yet another live coding and chill. I'm your host Johnny and I hope you're having lovely weekends. We very rarely do streams on the weekend, but I was super inspired to get this product done, do the Stripe checkout flow, allow people to sign up. I know that the main thing about having a SaaS web app is getting people to subscribe. It's software as a service. The service is you subscribe and then you get something amazing out of the app. You can check out the app yourself. You can go to 10xify.dev and click around, and I'll deploy things as fast as possible, as always. So if there is a checkout flow, don't try it out if you're not willing to pay money. It's going to be real. This is a real thing. So we are teaching you how to do this for your own SaaS idea. But it's not just a demo project. It's a bit further beyond. If you put in your details here, I am gonna get your money. And I only want to do that if you think this is valuable. So, as a demo of what we've done in the past 5 streams, I guess on the last one we handled a few more webhooks, and we are now able to sync the subscription tiers that we offer with Stripe. So if I go to the Stripe dashboard, that's our source of truth. If I update monthly or yearly pricing, it's going to be reflected here. If I add a different image for a product, it's going to be reflected here as well in our own database, in order to not get over the Stripe quota, which is sensibly generous, but it's a nice optimization for the future. And an interesting thing that I've noticed is that currently we are bringing in those images from Stripe, and what they have, those cheeky Stripe devs, is a third-party cookie, which I have seen before, maybe because this cast is not appearing now. But in any case, we will want the centralization to host these in our Supabase storage bucket, so we don't make a request to Stripe for it, because who knows what these guys are adding in their cookies. But I will not be doing that. No premature optimizations, no sidestep in the thing. What we will be doing straight away is adding a button here and get through the Stripe checkout flow, and then bam, we've got a customer. And then we'll figure out how to actually give them extra functionality by handling even more webhooks. But we're gonna be doing the main fun thing. And just to show what we've done quickly, currently we're on the free tier, this user is on the free tier, and we can add like a new interview here. Well, we've created all of these things. My uncle works at Nintendo. And then if you have 3, then you get this thing to upgrade your membership, get to your full membership, because you can only have 3 interviews to manage here. And maybe I will switch to the full desktop view. And we do have like the search functionality as well, but when you only have like 2, it's not that helpful. Maybe we shouldn't be showing this, but again, that's like a UX optimization that we don't really care about just yet, although it does look cool with the view transitions and stuff. So you can straight go to this page, and then you want to click a button to actually get your subscription. Then you can go back, and then you can have up to 10 if you got the pro tier, or unlimited, as many interviews as you want. And we can sort this. I think that means that we've showed pretty much everything that this app does. Blind it here. So Stripe checkout flow. Went over the agenda, big agenda for today, but we've talked about it. We won't actually be doing this first. I thought I updated this. We'll be doing it here. So first, big button, Stripe checkout flow. That's what we'll be doing straight away. They have some simple code. We've seen how the Stripe dashboard works and how we've set up the prices and the products and all of that, and the test API keys and the real API keys. So we won't be doing that today, but feel free to ask if you want me to show something, of course, and tell me about your day. Tell me what fun things you've been up to this weekend. I know that some people like to code on the weekend to like upskill or try something new, a language that they may not be doing their day-to-day work or life. So I'm always excited about that. And here in the Stripe example, they're saying essentially that they're also using form. This is old school, but it's also new school with SvelteKit form actions and the other meta frameworks such as Next.js. Forms are back, which is great. And they're saying hit the backend and give them a price ID, which is what Stripe uses to recognize that, oh, they are actually getting this product at this price, like 5 per month or however much you have. And then the backend generates the link, the URL that they should be redirected to. And then the user goes there and it's the Stripe checkout flow, something familiar for the users. It can have more of your branding there to make it look even more legit. If everything goes well, they can go back to your site to a success URL, or if they cancel, I just bounce them back to where they were. It doesn't matter that much. But interestingly enough, they have a hidden input with the price ID. Actually, you can just have this in the button. So let's do that first. So we have this pricing card here, and we want a button right here at the end. And like the pro tip I got, and I can now not live without, I do have the Svelte inspector here, where I can just enable the Svelte inspector and click on something, and then I get to the Svelte component, so the pricing card. That's insane. That's so good. And what we want, I guess, here is a form, as we saw. It's gonna have a type of a method of post, and it's gonna have a button. It doesn't need to have a type submit because any button inside the form is by default a submit button, obviously. And it can have like a call to action, but I think we have, do we have buttons in this app? We created buttons, have a form button here. Let's see how that looks. This auto-completed to but, I don't know what that's about. So we now have this subscribe button. Looks good, I'd say. It does have a form button take any other properties. It doesn't, but it should, because we do want now to also expose name, which can be a string or undefined, I guess. Oh, and pass it to this button. I should have done it with a regular button. That is a premature optimization for sure. But let's pass it all the way. So button, button, button. And also a value. We did get some cold and rain the past few days in Barcelona, which is good. We needed some rain, but I don't like rain in general. It's good for nature, for sure. We do get sunlight, you may see just out the window here, but my fingers are cold, so fewer, more typing mistakes as usual. The same speaking mistakes as always, for better or for worse. Some people find it endearing. All right, so why am I doing all of this? I'm doing all of this. I do want this to default to undefined, I guess. And yeah, should have done this before. So all the other places that don't have a name and a value don't complain. But here, I want this to have the name of price ID. and a value of the price ID. And that's it. Because we are recreating this, instead of having a hidden input, it's our button that people are clicking on that's going to be submitting to the backend the price ID that they want, subscription product that they want. How do I find that out? I guess I do check whether they're getting something you may not have seen, maybe on the big screen here. We do have this yearly plans toggle. So if they click here and it's like the yearly plan, they should go to the flow for the yearly price. If they click while it's on the monthly plan, they should go for the month-to-month subscription. So that's why this component needs to know the interval. And similarly here, we check the interval, and then it's gonna be, oh, it's great, Gilly, nice to see you yet again. And do these have IDs? They do. We remember to pass that in, so great. If we're on the month interval, they're getting the monthly price, if not the yearly price. All right, so where does this submit to? It's going to be submitting to the default SvelteKit action for this page. We can give this an action name, and we can use a named action, but I guess we don't need to. We don't have like any other things in this page, so I think we're fine. So how does that work? We can see that we have the premium page.server.ts, and here where we also have the load method that gets all the products. These get dynamically fetched from our database, which is synced with Stripe. We can export const actions. And we can say that the default action, GitHub Copilot is trying to autocomplete something kind of weird here. Screening in the sand. You've tried Planet Scale. Yeah, and it's so unfriendly for beginners. And the whole plan. Sick. And Supabase is the goat. Yeah, Supabase, I do think they have like so many handy and easy features that you can more easily get started than something as Planet Scale. Although maybe Planet Scale will be something that if you have on your CV, like in an interview, if you drop this in, they'd be like, oh, this person knows what they're doing. Like if you drop in Terraform or CloudFormation or something like that, they're like, wow, like this guy may know what they're talking about. But it's the same with Supabase, I'd say, because it's getting more and more popular. Lots of people use it. What impresses people the most is when you can tell them, I was paid money to do this app for this person or for this client. And then engineers are like, yeah, it's great. And then they ask what you've used. Anyway, I digress. Let's get this done. Let's open the Git docs for the actions. Just to have them here. So we're doing this, the default action. They're doing this satisfies typing, which I don't prefer. That's by the by. We're not naming the action. I think that's it. What we want here is, so we've done this part of the Stripe example. Then we need to do something on the backend. That's where we are. We need to bring in the Stripe client, which we've created in a different episode. And this price ID we should have from the form. So, like, where else do we have actions here? Surely, found them somewhere. Form data from the request, get the request out of there. There we are. And it soon be possible to mess this up, but maybe if it's good to have some server-side validation because you never know. So let's do it. Get a request there. So let's subscribe. Hoping we can do some streams like real-time streaming, server-based database functions. Yeah, we may do in the future. We'll see. So maybe in the interviews, like we'll definitely want to upload CVs and then get recommended CVs. And maybe there we'll have like something cool, like a ChatGPT style. You tell it about your job and then it types out, and then you may need a stream from that. But we'll see. If it doesn't fit this product, I will do a different sort of live stream to show off streams and server-based real-time subscriptions, because I know people do want to see this. Where did they steal this from? So our subscribe schema, if we bring in C from Zod, validation library, that's how we bring it in, is just a string. Yeah, even for this, where users can't really like do anything, they can only be malicious to like inspect the DOM, change like the value or whatever. I will use Zod even for this. And then we'll return a fail if this thing, which should never happen, actually happens. It should be the price ID, that's what we named it. And this is the price ID. This is just an alias, you can name this anything. And now that we have that, we can do the stripe stuff. And we should have the Stripe client here from the server, so we ensure we only use it server side. Great. Just one line item for one quantity. Just they're getting one subscription, they're only buying this. This, they're like, it's gonna be changed by the library. It's gonna be like Stripe is gonna substitute this with the actual session ID. Can I get this as a post? Maybe not. There may be some options we can pass here. So this is gonna return the URL that we want people to go through. They'll get to the Stripe ecosystem, go through the flow. If they go there successfully, they'll be returned here, and we can get the session ID from the parameters. But if it does get returned like this, we can only get it in the client. Only the browser would be able to read this, the query parameter. No, I'm making this up. That's for hash parameters. So yeah, that's gonna work for sure. But for where we want them to redirect to, have access to the URL here. So let's say that we want them to get to page URL origin slash subscribed. Like, what should we call it? I'm not sure. Definitely not .html. And if not, I think I will just get them to the same URL. I won't say that. Thinking about it. So if they abandon the flow, I do want them to get back to this page, but it's the origin path. Singing on the fly here. Origin the path name, and then we can pass in this query parameter, and then we can show some UI, like a little toast that says, oh, you've canceled, like try again, like or something like that. We're not going to do it today, but maybe in the future we will do it. Or else they'll just here, maybe they're like, I don't want to buy, you don't want to annoy them, I won't put them in like a dedicated, you've rejected us page. But it may be nice to get them to this page so they can convert for sure if they change their minds yet again, but also have like a little toast app. What PMs would want me to do is have a, 20% off because you've hesitated buying, but I hate these sorts of methods, so I won't be doing them. But for the success, where do we want to go? Subscribed. And session ID, sure. And I can leave this comment. Things in the format here, so you know that I intentionally left this in. And not just because it was in the examples. And then we want to redirect, and I think here we can just redirect 303 session URL. Should I do the real thing? So maybe like a little error here, no session URL. Error. So this should never happen if we've done this correctly. So a log should be fine. And yeah, I think that's it. That should mean that if I click subscribe, I should go to the checkout flow for a 2.5 product. Almost nailed it. 30 per year, is that the yearly price? Oh yeah, I was on the yearly price. So 3 per month. Yeah. And I've also configured the upsell here, so you can switch to the Ultra one with annual billing. Great. Awesome. And if I press the back button, I go here, it's fair enough. So this one is the 48 per year. That's what I expect to see. But very sneakily, you can see that you don't have the toggle to be like downsold. It won't tell you if you want to switch to per month. You can do something else. Too many slashes here, so that's good to know. And we can add a model. Maybe I have better to do here. So let's try this again. So now with a non-yearly plan, 5 per month, we are saying you can save some money here if you toggle, but even if you don't manually toggle, then the way we've set things up on Stripe means that they do get this toggle. So they're set up to pay 5 per month, which is fine. If they toggle, they switch to the ultra yearly plan, which does save a bit of money here. Maybe I should copy the way they do the save thing. I like the little bullet. Cool. So most users will have seen this before. Let me know if you have seen like a flow like this, because I'm using Chrome. It even has like the Google Pay stuff, but we will be using a test credit card here. Interesting this about the link, like a new Stripe thing. I imagine like last time I integrated this, we didn't have this. Should we be keeping the phone number? Probably not. But let's go back yet again. We are getting to the right page. We are getting this query parameter, so we can show something saying, I don't know, like don't put too much pressure on the customer, but maybe you do want to do that. If we do things successfully, they'll get to the subscribe page. So let's just so we won't see like an error page, let's add something. Let's take inspiration from the about page, copy everything. Subscribed. Which is what you should be doing if you haven't already. You've subscribed to a premium plan. Here we could check the session ID and confirm that they're like pro or ultra, like be upsold further, yada yada yada. Features and your even more. All right, so this is the success page, rudimentary success page. Let's go through the flow. Let's see if it works. Let's do the monthly one. Subscribe. successfully here. You shouldn't be able, I wonder if we can pre-give the customer email here. You shouldn't be able to go through this without a valid email. Interesting how it didn't give me the link thing now. Is it because I saw it before? You never know. You never know. All right, so here is a plethora of Stripe test credit cards, which are the only ones you should be using. Anything in the future will work, and anything here would work. This is the link, just looks a bit different now. So pay and subscribe doesn't work because you need the email. Great. You should use the same email as in the other app. I wonder if there is a way to pre-fill this. Stripe is processing, probably sending some events. Checkmark, Develop Premium, nailed it. Checkout flow. Great. And we can see that the session ID is here. So maybe on the backend we can do some stuff with it. Or we can just like not show anything. However, you will find that we're still limited by this because we're not actually saving anything in our database. We're not hitting Stripe to check what subscriptions we're on, but that's fine. Because at the very least, you can go to live and then you can go to Stripe and see that, oh, this person has subscribed, and then you can manually like finagle your database or do whatever to give them the features that they've subscribed for. So if you are really in a rush to go live, you can start with this and then worry about handling webhooks and stuff. So let's see, like I do have the Stripe CLI forwarding Stripe webhooks to the local app. Let's see what we got, if anything. Like we got many things, too many things. We got a few of the events. Starting from here. So we got a child succeeded and a payment method attached, which I don't think we care about. We got a customer created, which we should care about for sure. The customer has an email, and that's the thing that we're going to use to map them to a user in our database. It has the username, which is, I guess, cool. It even says preferred locales. And other things that we won't be messing with. There is a customer updated one. Interesting. I wonder what that does. Subscription created. We definitely care about this. So this is the subscription that was created. I guess this will be the same thing we got here. Oh, we moved. So here starts with CS test and WB. It's different, so that's kind of interesting. Is it because it's a session ID? I guess so. So the subscription is kind of different. This is the customer ID that was created before. Can only imagine it's this guy. Some things about the billing cycles. They haven't cancelled, so they don't have this. Blah blah blah. The item is this specific subscription. It has some data that maybe we'll need to take out. Payment stuff that we won't be saving anywhere. There are plan stuff which are interesting. I don't think we would be using. So this is where we can see the plan that they're on, I guess. This may be kind of new in Stripe, that's why I'm reading it more. Plan, what plan they're on. But again, then the subscription is updated. I think it has like a status of active. So before it had a status of pending, maybe. Incomplete. So soon after it's active, then we can unlock the features. Then the checkout session is completed. Do we do anything more here? Maybe not. I think we could just not handle this. So here we do get some customer emails, details on how they paid, I suppose. But I don't want to store that stuff in my app. I can just leave them in Stripe. The Next.js Stripe example does store these things, and not sure. And then invoice updated, which we will also not be handling. So that makes sense. And first step would be attaching the subscription plan to the client in order to unlock these features, allow them to do more. As it stands, you may remember that we have /me, API/me server endpoint, which just returns free tier for everyone. But what we will be doing is checking Supabase to see what subscription they're on. We could also directly check Stripe, I suppose, and then derive whether they are on the free plan, if they have no subscriptions, if they are on the pro plan, if they have the pro subscription, or if they are on the ultra plan. And that in return tells us whether they are, what the limits are when it comes to using this app. That's how I figured I should do this. So we're abstracting the tier logic and limits logic in this endpoint. We only need to change it in this one place, no matter if it's like a million pages that make use of that. Like maybe this page is going to make use of this. Definitely the interviews page is making use of this. The create, like if they manage to get to the create form, that also makes use of this endpoint. So that's the one place to derive the tiers. And in the example, like once again, they don't say anything about plans. So I'm not sure if we should be saving anything about the plan. My question is, how do I know that they are in this, like in the pro monthly plan? What else does the subscription have? It is the line item. The plan has a price ID. We'll see. So first, webhook to handle. Customer created. First thing to double check. So we did do this, and we do have like a decent success page, I suppose. And now we want to handle a new customer being created, but first, let's see if the checkout session, if the create, can we pass the customer email there and then it's like pre-filled? Because we do have it. The way we're doing it now, we are allowing them to use a different email. They cannot get to this plan without them being signed up to our page, but in the future we could do something where even if they're not signed up, they can actually subscribe to this. But my question is, what can I pass here? I can pass params and options. with a thing that has like mode subscription and line items and stuff. Should be this. Too many things. I'm trying to find for like, is there like an emails? That's the receipt email. It's not what we want. Yeah, that's a different story. Ah. Little pre-filled email here. If we give a customer ID, but I guess we don't have a customer ID. Yeah, so it doesn't look like we can pass the email anywhere to have it pre-filled. Oh, I lie. All right, customer email, that's great. We do want to do our best to have them use the same email as they have on the app, or else it will cause problems. So we should pass this for sure. So customer email. Yeah. What is that? I guess here we have a get session in the locals. And I imagine this can be this. And we can pass it here. So string or undefined, great, that's exactly what this wants. So now next time we do this, I shouldn't be asked of my email. Hello Snow, nice to see you today too. Dream team in the chat. So this guy has a subscription. Can we just delete the guy? Let's cancel the subscription and see what events we will have. You can even do a refund, everything. We are on test mode. So I should be not losing any money here. Get that in. Let's see what other fun events we're getting. So we get a refund, we don't care. We get an invoice, like all of those things we don't really care about. But I can only imagine we do get a subscription deleted. And at this point, we should be handling this and updating so they will not have access to our app anymore. Great. Great. And in our customers, can I just delete this person? And I can only assume this sends a customer deleted, which maybe we don't care about. Maybe we don't want to delete this guy. Maybe this would never happen. Maybe we want to do it. Who knows? We don't want any customer details to exist. There's also this guy. Let's delete this guy. Let's delete all of these people. Once this works, what I want to see is, will we be able to, will we get to the Stripe checkout flow? Will it even not ask for an email? Or will it have it pre-filled? Or will it have it pre-filled and uneditable? Interesting things. Did that do anything? Yeah, good. It's the left one for the fun of it. So we can be upsold yet again. We can try the Ultra for the fun of it. And yeah, great. So we passed the email because I've logged in with this account and it's pre-filled. Great. That's the user you're trying to get in with. Awesome. Pay and subscribe here. I guess we can amend these colors according to the brand. We've done this in different episodes. And do note that it does get me to like the Zonify store, because the Nextify is part of Zonify. I didn't set up another business just for this thing. I hope you don't mind. All right, so next time we go through the flow, we should actually give the pictures to the users. So what we found is that we do need to handle the customer created for sure, very early on. This one, which is going to look like this. So webhook time, indeed. Here, webhook handles a new customer being created. So we should have a server endpoint for this. And we want to handle this, customer created. And should we say absurd customer? Is that a real thing? Create customer. But what will this do? We can go to our handlers file and say support const create customer, sync Stripe customer, and then do some stuff. What will we actually be doing here? So I guess the idea that Next.js Stripe project, SaaS project has, is to have a Stripe mappings table where it just has the Stripe customer ID and it maps it to the auth ID of the user and makes that table unreadable. Only you, the admin, can do it. So what was I looking at before the customer email? This thing. I may have a customer ID here if I do a database call. Do I want to read it? Maybe I do want to read it. Maybe I just don't want to update it. Not sure. yeah, so if we have the customer ID, we should be using it here. We should be doing like a different check. But if they're not able to read their own Stripe ID, then it would be like slightly harder to read. So I'm not sure. We can have the other endpoint fetched, I guess. Not sure, unclear, doesn't matter. But I do want, yes, just delete all of this. So Stripe customers should have an email here. What are we doing to other tables? I guess we just have the auth ID and that's it. We just want our user ID and map it to the Stripe customer ID, and that's it. We move on with our lives. But if we don't have that customer, which feels impossible, we could be creating the customer preemptively. I think that's what I did last time. So let's see, we can create this migration, which just maps like a customers table, like Stripe IDs. Should we call it like Stripe table? Who knows? We'll think about it. And then what I did at some point, which was not in the customer creation thing, I was checking this table to see if I already have a customer for this user ID. And if not, I was trying to find the user by email. And if yes, like I added a record, which may be fine. Unclear. That session object, does it give me back already the customer? Even if it does, I guess the other event fires first, so I shouldn't worry about that. I do have the super client, service admin client, where we may want to do something. We may want to check when I'm doing the other one. We're doing this call in the customers table, but maybe we're gonna change. Should we still call it customers? Should we call it like Stripe? Not sure. Maybe customers, fine. It would help you with the examples. So customer ID. And a customer object, I guess it's gonna have ID and that's it. Always gonna be there, so we can just use it like this. Sure. And then I guess in this endpoint, maybe we shouldn't have this ever. It's just a double check, I suppose. we should never have this customer in our database, right? Should I even be checking for this? Customer data and existing customer error. If existing customer error, should this be maybe single? Yeah, maybe single. So maybe this exists, maybe it doesn't. If there is an error, then console error and throw error. Fair enough. If there is customer data, then it's going to be this. And then we just return. My dog is waking up. Hello. But we're at an exciting point, so we need to get going. But if there is an existing data customer, then we want to create the record. This is the actually expected case. But to create the record, we need to find our own user ID, because the table we're going to create is going to be mapping the Stripe customer ID to the user ID. All right, so we do need to find the customer by email, the user by email. And I did create a handy method, I guess, here, helper method. Which is just this, I suppose. Can create this helper method, why not? So in this case, it's an app user. And can use that here. Oh, right. So sometimes this doesn't have an email. This would never happen. And yet. Now, this should exist. So we should have a user here. If we don't have a user, then we could create the account for him. But send one-time password. Create user, and send them a magic link. Else, maybe we just want to await stuff and then we will have a user. Maybe. probably be doing something with the existing user ID. Yeah, what we will want to do is insert to the customers table. Which we can copy from here, I'm sure. That's kind of what we're doing here. Oh, they're doing stuff with the subscriptions. But why? We never insert in the customers? That doesn't feel correct. Interesting. Surely something inserts here. Maybe not. How do they ever make it there? Here we're selecting it again. Here we're selecting it again. Well, I don't need to check everything I've ever done. Maybe I was just wrong. Because what I think should happen is that I do exactly this. Will I name this ID? Not sure. We'll see. And in here, I guess I can still the one-time password stuff. Sign in with one-time password. Does this return data? I guess not. So we can copy all of this. So in this case, when there is no existing user, we can sign in with one-time password. And again, use a customer email here. And if we had the problem creating a user, then we throw it. Well, we can console log before throwing console error. Then the new user is going to be this guy. I don't think we can get that information immediately from here. Yeah, the user is null always for safety, I suppose. But since we have the new user here, we can say that the user ID is the new user ID. That's all we wanted. And this should never throw anymore. But I guess we could. Maybe it will. We're going to throw the same error again. All right, now we always have a user ID. And we insert this, but we'll want to create a migration of this new table, customers table, and we'll be inserting the ID here, actually. Instead of customer ID, we'll call it like so. All right. And we'll do a similar thing. If insert customer error, console error this, and throw it. But I think if not, then we should be good and we should have this customer finally in our database. Anything else we would want to change? Something we didn't like? I guess when creating this user with one-time password, which should never happen in this case, we could have like some metadata here. Are we using this in our regular auth flow here? Data. Yes, we should copy these options too. And we can have like some metadata for like Stripe is this. Oof, and the URL. How do we get it? We'll manage it. So maybe, yeah, Stripe true should be fine. Should we have like the username? I think I'm looking for a name here. So at this point we could pre-fill the customer name too, if they have it, which would be nice. So all this needs is the current URL, and we're back. It's a custom creation redirect URL. Like, do I need to do this? Like, how premature is this? But I think after we've done this, we're good to go for like the customers. Like customer creation will be handled. Just need to do the new migration, and we'll be good to go. So where are we calling this? We're calling it here. Maybe we shouldn't provide a direct URL because that's the default. Maybe, but maybe we should just have like direct URL here. Should be a string. It's this. And this thing should have access to the URL object here, like our other method. So we're golden. So customer created the event. Let's go through it again. We check whether we already have a customer in that table by trying to, let's use the maths object. I like that more. Do we already have this customer? This should never happen because create customer should only fire when there is a new customer. If this goes wrong, we throw it. If we already have a customer, then we just early out. But if we don't early out, which is the expected case, then making to here is the expected case, and we don't expect that there will not be an email there. If there is no email, we cannot do anything. We cannot map this to anything. So we throw the error, and maybe the webhook will fire again. And by the time it refires, we've resolved this because it should be on us, like we have a problem. Then we just declare that we're gonna need a user ID. We check whether we have a user with that email that Stripe got, which we should. The way our current app is, users need to be signed up to see our payment plans. Like to see this, you need to be signed up. Maybe you do differently. If you do differently, this case is for you. So if you don't have an existing user, which should never happen to this app, maybe that's what you want to do because you want to decrease friction between your visitors converting. We sign them in with a one-time password. If they don't have an account with that email, they will Supabase will automatically create an account and send them an email. This is part of the email flow, magic link flow that we have. So that wasn't too much work. And we just add like some metadata here. So in our records, we could see that this thing that should never happen actually happened. And it could be fun for metrics if you actually have the way, like the no sign up required before converting flow. You could check your database to see that, you know, 1 million people signed up like this versus like 10 people who actually signed up later, like signed up first and then converted. Anyway, doesn't really matter. The common case for our app, like it's a lot of work to create this new user and get the new user ID. But the common way for this app is that there is going to be an existing user. Therefore, we want to add the mapping of our app user, our authenticated user, to Stripe because we're going to be using that mapping later. Sadly, Stripe doesn't have a way for us to tell them this is my app, like my app ID, like this customer's ID in my world is this. So we need to take care of that mapping. That's why we're doing all of this. So we're inserting this record. And that's it. Do we ever do insert anywhere else? Insert interviews. That's it. We just check for the error, I guess. Right. If there is an error, we throw it. But if not, we're good. Like create customer has done its job. Event successfully handled. Great. One event handled that we really need to handle. Hopefully correct. And we don't care about anything like that. Like we only cared about the email, and we are using the name as a nice thing, so they don't need to go to their profile to pre-fill it. If they get to the flow, that should never happen in this app. And then we get a subscription created. So that's interesting. And that's what we should be handling next. So should I actually save this? Because maybe that's enough for now. Already over an hour in. Rudimentary success page. So now you have the Stripe dashboard, you have the mapping of the user with your auth user. It's kind of good. Stripe checkout flow, Stripe checkout, and mapping Stripe IDs to auth IDs. But this will not work because we forgot to do the migration. So migrate new this, fill this in. Create customers table. Great, and we want to steal this. And again, that's what the Next.js example Supabase was doing. Separate customers table that no one is able to read. You could have this in the user object. Maybe that's fine. But hey. All right. So, what do we want here? Do I want to save the user ID in the user object? Maybe not. Maybe that allows for people to mess things up. So we now have this table ready to go. I'm committing to this, like separate table for this makes sense. My doggy wants a break and to go for a walk, but we're very close, so we'll keep going. So add this migration. Let's see. So no policies with role of security means only the admin client will be able to do this. This is interesting. Yeah, let's commit this. Does the migration run? It's good to do. And locally, sure, don't mess things up. But not a real thing. Wasn't a real thing. Did this do nothing? It's not migrate. Let's be looking at the docs for this instead of looking at the dogs. And the dog. Migration up. No, with super base in the name, it cannot be done. Migration up. It's close. Not DB migration up, it's migration up. Come on, Johnny, get it together. All right, so it applied this. We should have a customer table. If they go through the flow, we should be creating a customer. But now we want to handle the subscription being created or updated or anything in between. What we care about, I guess, is the plan. Like the plan is important. This is how we know that they are like an ultra plan or the pro plan. Can use the nickname for this. Or we can fetch like this. But the important thing in the subscription object is the status. Like if it's incomplete, they are not actually on the plan. If it's complete, then they are on the plan. Yeah. So we can commit this and move on. To handling this for sure, and I suspect the logic is going to be the same for like all of these three. So even for deleting the subscription, we wouldn't be deleting the record. I think it's just updating the subscription object. In this case, it doesn't really delete it. They've canceled the subscription or something. And this pausing and resuming, I think these are only if you're using trials in your product, which are not currently, so we won't be messing with those today, but we will in the future. And I think the checkout session we won't need to mess with because we're doing the subscription stuff, this stuff. So we should be good to go, but who knows? Who knows? Right, so new thing. Wait. Upsert subscription. Which we want to create in our handlers file, which is getting bigger and bigger. Copilot new. And we have a subscription object which has many things, but we will be looking at the other file to see what we had done, what past Johnny has done here. So it's not, it wasn't getting like the whole thing, which I wasn't sure about. Like the customer ID, how did they get that? Why are we doing like all of these things? Where are we mapping? So this is for the new table that we'll be creating. And I guess we will want like all of this stuff anyway. It's fair enough. Interestingly, in this example, they do hit the Stripe API again to get the subscription, which I'm not sure if that's what we'll do. I guess this gets the latest status of the subscription, but then you have like other webhooks going on. So I'm not sure if we will do that. They must be doing it for a reason, I'm sure. But hey, and in the end, they do update the subscription, which is fair enough. I guess the first thing that we do want is to get the customer. So let's find that person. User ID, like this should always exist now. Should be from the service admin client, from the customers table. Select the ID, match this, then single, great, await that. And this, it's not always a customer ID. So subscription customer supposedly is sometimes an object. So if it's a string, it will actually be the customer ID, or else it's going to be an object. So we need to get the ID from there. And then we have a customer ID, and then we can search for this customer ID, and we're good to go. But that's not true. Error, customer error. And we can do our classic yet again. If there is a customer error, bang, throw it. But if no customer data, we can do this and throw it again. Great, this should never happen because the customer created event should have always have run before we handle any subscription. If there is a race condition there, so if the other thing is like too slow, we're cooked. But that's fine. Like the webhook, I don't think we're try-catching anything, so we should get like a 500 here, or 400. It says here. Interesting. So yeah, we should, like, it's never Stripe webhook fault, it's our fault, so the status should be this. So we are returning a 500 to Stripe, so they will be retrying it, and then even if the race condition, like we lose the race condition, we lose the race, then they'll retry the webhook and we will handle this correctly. I guess maybe that's why they're fetching like the latest version of the subscription, because what if you get the created event handled before the latest event of the subscription? So that's interesting. Maybe that's what we should do as well, just to ensure that what we're saving is the latest state of the subscription. Yeah, I guess that's why they're doing it. But in this case, our user ID is going to be this customer data ID. So our auth user ID. And why do we want all of this anyway? And we are doing this customer creation elsewhere. We want to care about this. And here they're fetching the latest status of the subscription, which is fair enough. Oh, in the comment they say like upsert the latest status of the subscription object. So they're definitely doing it like this, which is fair enough. Tamerina, you're playing with your ball. Do you want to say hi to the stream? She doesn't. She wants to play. Ready? Go! All right. So we won't be expanding the default payment method because I don't want to be saving any payment method. They only do it here, like copy billing details to customer. Why do they want to do this? Maybe there's a use case, maybe I don't know. But I think we're fine. Like I can go to the Stripe dashboard and find that stuff if I really want to. But I don't think my app would be doing anything with payment methods. The user won't be managing their payment methods in here, and they will not want to see them in my app. We will get them to the Stripe customer portal if they want to manage this stuff. So yeah, I think all we want to do is maybe call this the latest subscription from Stripe. And this again we can get from our Stripe client. And this is gonna be this. Oh. So latest subscription we can call this. And this is gonna be this. And we don't want to expand anything. We won't be using this. Having fun? And then they're doing like some mapping here, I guess. Let's do the same. What did we call our mappers in this case? Map Stripe product to DB product. So map Stripe subscription. Almost. Stripe sub to DB sub. Let's export it because we will test it one day. I need to copy harder. And this is a Stripe subscription, I'm sure. That's what we get even here, right? Yeah. Is that true? Yeah. Can I pass it? It looks happy enough. And user ID, all right. It's a string that we'll need to pass. Thankfully, we do have it. So we'll easily be able to fetch it from our stuff. And they have like a method to do the ISO date here. Should I keep doing it in line or should I have the handy helper method? So ID, user ID, metadata, status, this is the real thing we care about. Price ID, we care about this because that's how we know the price they're on. Yeah, we can fetch the price, nickname, and all of those things. Thanks to that. So let's create our little helper. Are we doing the same here? Huh. We are. It's exactly the same. Maybe we don't need it anywhere else. Well, if we do, we're gonna refactor. It's gonna be fine. That's gonna be fine. And we will care about all of these things. Cancel that. Like sometimes we want to say, oh, if you've canceled your subscription, like you can still upgrade, you will lose your features then. Like you can have these call to actions. And we don't have trials yet, but we will in the future. So that's fair enough. I think everything. We know the way we are doing things that we will only have one line item. So that's where the subscription will be. And yeah, the quantity will always be 1 because it's a subscription. So I think this is it. I think mapping is correct. And then I guess we just want to upsert the subscription, don't we? And that's it, handled. And it seems like we can do this for every subscription event. And what we usually do, we do these errors like this. And what type of console logs are we doing? Like successful console logs or upsell price, like this. So all right, maybe that's the type of log that was missing in our other handler. So with that, I do believe we can handle all of the subscription related events. So the updated 2 and the deleted 2. And maybe these two, why not? Just put them there and say we've handled it, even though we want to test them out. Again, I think these are for trials. And even though in the docs, they do say, like, what events should we handle? They do claim checkout session completed. And in the other example, we were handling checkout session completed. I think we don't need to handle that. Am I crazy? So, crocodile, you got your crocodile squeaky toy somewhere? Great. So we have this checkout session, and I don't think anything changes. Like, I don't think we need to handle this, actually. Let's say look into handling this, but we won't be doing it today. I think we're good to go. I think that once we have the migration going, we should be able to go through a full flow. So we have this subscriptions table that references our auth users table yet again. I think these are correct, hopefully. Should I double check with Stripe? So this guy. Type post. It seems these are it. Are they the ones that are allowed here? Trialing. Active cancelled, incomplete, expired. Past due, unpaid, post, and trialing. So they don't have trialing. Let's have trialing here. Oh, first one was trialing. They do have everything. 368. 368. Okay, looks good. If anything is empty, it defaults now. It shouldn't be the case for this. And users can see their subscriptions, but they cannot update them, which is great. All right. And we're not going to be doing real time for any of these, so maybe we don't care about that. Let's create a new migration. For the subscriptions table. This is approaching the time where I usually take my lovely doggy for a walk. And she knows that I haven't eaten yet because I'm doing the stream. That's why she's like, get on with it, daddy. You'll never eat in time. So we have this, we created the customers table. We are going to be creating the subscription table. I don't know why all of these need defaults, but hey. Have the prices before. I think we're good. So, shall we go through the flow once again and see if we make it? We have handled the new customer being created. We're doing this. A subscription being created or updated. Will it work? Let's try to do a yearly for the Pro. Pre-filled. Let's copy this one. In the future, which is not 21, 22, or 23 anymore. That's not your real name. So interesting, they have the UI different, don't they? Before they were showing the telephone number here. Oh well, doesn't matter. Pay, we suspect we'll go to the welcome page as we did before. That worked before, but now we'll have some information in our database to actually unlock more features for our paying users, which is exciting. You've unlocked premium. Nice. Is it true? Found it. So we did I not run the migration? What a guy. What a guy. Ah, but also this didn't work. So that's unfortunate. Many things didn't work. So could not create user for email, this guy. Could not create user for email, this guy. And then of course we did have problems for the subscriptions because I forgot to do this, the real-time subscriptions, but they wouldn't have worked anyway. Yeah, forgot to do this. Unfortunate. But what did we do wrong with the customer creation? Create customer here. So we're trying to find this. They shouldn't exist. We shouldn't have an error here, and they shouldn't exist. Great. If no customer email, we should be throwing an error. And then we should get the user via email, like so. So we should be getting this guy, but maybe we didn't. From the users table, but that's not the correct table. Yeah. It should be a different one, surely. It's not the public schema. Like the users table has no email. I'm not exposing this email. Maybe I should, I guess, but that's the problem. So I should be looking for like auth users email. So how do I select from somewhere else? Supabase yet again. TS client, just selecting from. In the other example, I did have a users table or profiles table or whatever you have that did have the user email, but I don't have it here, so that's a problem. Switching schemas per query, schema auth. That could work. Not true. Is there any other way you can get this? There's a different way to do this. Specifically, I want to find a user with a specific email. Not the logged in user and not this. Definitely neither of those. Get user by ID, interesting. Can I get a user by email? Guess not. All users, that'd be crazy. There must be an easy way to do this, surely. Is it not auth schema? Is it called something else? Maybe. No, schema is auth, so why is that? Not available? Maybe this just gonna work, who knows. We didn't run the generate flag function either. So let's run that one and see where that gets us. Autocomplete. Oh, interesting. So yeah, getting all the users, that's not what we want. Should we just store the user email? I guess. I guess that's what we need to do. But then if they change their email, like, it's going to be a problem for us. Is that a problem to resolve at another time? So yeah, they're like, maybe you can use like a view, then say view and stuff. I need to check somewhere as I think about this. I think I will just add the email field in the user information. No. So yeah, I do believe we should add the email field in the user information, because maybe at some point they'll want to change it, but not sure. Like linked user email, not sure. Because that feels like too much hard work. Of course, since we'll only have a few users to begin with, we could be listing all the users and then checking, finding whoever has this email, but that's just insane, surely. Oh. So what should we actually do? Should I be listing this? They have this, which has like all the users in the world. Will we have like 1 million users? 50 users per page. Would that unblock us for now? I guess. I guess that could be fine. Can I run a query here? Maybe not. Don't particularly want to use custom schemas here. No AI. Go to and select the auth users. Great. Doesn't seem like the response worked. Don't want to create a view. And yeah, that wasn't SQL, right? Was it? Is the quotes? All right. Can I go to auth users? Guess not. Postgres specified schema. Guess it's because it's not a raw query. Oh, hey. This is what I was trying to do. So I don't quite understand what was the problem with my query. No problem for my query. Sure. So that's what I want. And where ID equals other. Strings limit 1. So that's the SQL I want to run. How do I create a view for this? User emails, surveys, create view, service role only. So we can create this view, blah, 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 for security. Nothing about RLS here. So that's interesting. Process function, I think we talked about these. So I want to create one with parameters. I want one where you give it the user ID and then it returns you the email, right? This could be what we want. And they have like the create with no like this. Great, that's what we want. Is there a create function with no that doesn't exist? No language SQL here? Guess not. Right, so get user by email. Is that what I want? Get user ID by email. Getting somewhere. Security definer. What's the security? Definer, but what's the definer here? Who knows? It's not setting anything. Postgres create function if not exists. The capital letters. All right, so maybe we will do this. Another trigger. Let's create a new migration. Let's see. We may get out of this yet. Different place. Should we say that it should be public? I guess. So let's just have this and return the whole user. Nah, get user ID by now. And then I want the parameter. It's gonna be text. And then returns text. And then select ID. How do you just get like the one thing? Would this just return one thing? In any case, I do want to do select here, I guess. Or the return. What are I doing here? No filters, no nothing. Just want to create this one. It makes sense. On bulk processing, maybe they have like something here. Yeah, this returns an array. Maybe that's fine. This work? Who knows? We'll find out. And no security definer for now, and we also want delete function if exists. I think that's a real thing. So, will this work? Let's go to our SQL editor. Copy all of this and try to run it. Yeah, why not? It's a local database. So delete function, not a real thing. Maybe create or replace what we want. Doesn't like select because there is this end, maybe. Does this need to be double quotes? So that's a real thing. So why doesn't it work? Don't want the view. What do we want? Don't want this to return a table, is the problem. Save as GitHub Copilot. Do I actually write a Postgres function? More steps in the Copilot. A lot of stuff here. I don't think that's true, but hey. We'll find out. Yep. Well, they're not specifying the language here. All right, I guess that makes sense. I think we got there in the end. Let's see. All right, we learned something today. So let's do this. Great. Now if we generate our thing, let's run this migration, which should still succeed. Great. Then if we run our generate method, our thing should magically know what this returns. So let's go back to our handlers. Here, the get user by email, what it should actually be doing is an RPC call. Get user by email. What did we actually call it? User ID by email, right? And we did call this user email for some reason. So that one should be string or none. So let's call this get user ID via email. And see where we use it. So I don't think we use it for any other reason. The user ID, great. So the user ID is this. And the new user ID is this. Great, amazing operation. Yeah, I should protect this so no one else other than the admin client can run this, so people can just put in emails and figure out user IDs. That feels like a security problem, but we'll figure it out. And so not via email. Is it anywhere else? No. All right, so if my calculations are correct, we can delete this user yet again and try to go through the flow, and now it may work, things may work. For another migrations, we've resolved the problem about finding the user. We should be fine. Should be great. So let's go at it again. Delete everything. Let's unlock premium again. Pro. Oh, they have this on. Interesting. In the Stripe side, everything's fine. On our side, let's see. Ugh, still nothing. Unfortunate. JSON object requested. Could not create user for email. This guy. So this would have run before the subscriptions, which is fine. But how are we messing up? That has to be the place where we're messing up. But not sure. Let's see, we're in the user profile. Let's just for test purposes. Let's try to have this same thing, the get user ID. Bit way wrong. Does this work? Is one of the questions. And update the UI. Permission denied for table users. Okay, so it's because the service role cannot look at the auth table yet again. So I guess the service role cannot get that email. So the creation of that method didn't actually help us, unfortunately. Create view with the role level security. Should we be able to see everything? Who can see this? Again, the easy way out is just adding the email to the users table. Why am I not doing this? I should be doing this. I don't particularly do this. I don't want a security invoker and that sort of thing. So maybe this becomes this, and that's just a handy RPC method that does nothing. But there is no email, so let's... What's up? What's up, little doggy? My dog is getting like super upset, so we may need to pick this up on Tuesday yet again, or maybe I will do this offline. So the problem is that we cannot get the user by email, even with a super admin user, for some reason. Not great. Should I get around this the silly way? I think I can, just to unblock this. Let's do it. Summer, relax. We'll go in a bit. So we had like the thing, and Superbase, JavaScript and admin users, where we can list all the users. It's just silly, but hey. But we can just do that, and then I can talk about how I refactor this to something better. I may delete this migration altogether. That's fine. What we want to do, like everything we did here, we do not want. Let's confirm that's never gonna work. But here, in our handlers, get user ID for email. We're gonna do the crazy thing again, just for now. We're not gonna use this RPC. We're actually gonna do this fits all the users. If error, return null. After looking at like that, I'll just throw the error. Or else do this. and user ID. Or not. So yeah, that's one way to do it. Let's see if it's gonna work this crazy way. We're not giving up. So once again, delete that user. Again, this may work fine, but if you get to like more than 50 users, then it's not going to work because maybe they're not going to be on the first page. And even if you increase your limits, it's just inefficient, like doing that loop. Just silly. So premium again. Let's do the monthly one. We upsold. Use that one. Pay and subscribe. Maybe it will work. Our problem was creating a user, for sure. So I hope we finally resolved that problem. Indeed we did. Did we create the subscriptions correctly? I think we did. Great. So we have all that stuff about the subscription. These are null. I thought they were defaulting to something. So that's interesting, to say the least. But what I would want. Yes, if it's not, we only do the... When do we do the default? I don't know. We don't explicitly pass null, I suppose. And this price, we can see that it's this one. The price table has many, but we can see that it's this price, which references this product, and you can see that this is the Nexify Pro. It doesn't matter if they're like monthly or not. Right, so change the title of this one. Did we not? Subscribe page. So yeah, we can add like more fun stuff here. Point is that even though now this user is on the premium tier, they still get limited because how we derive whether they're limited or not is not checking the database at all. Get tier does nothing but return hard-coded string of free. All right, so 2.5 hours in, let's go sip of coffee and we'll make it work. We've managed to do this. Let's derive the user's tier. And delete this RPC method because I'll do it offline. Like I'll refactor how we derive the email at some point in the future. But what we want is that me endpoint. Focus, Johnny, you can do it. So get tier. It should actually be using Supabase for sure to get what. So from subscriptions. They should only have one. Each user should only have one. So let's select products name. Maybe single here. Hopefully it managed to get there. I know that we can join from a subscription to the price and then to the product. Like in real SQL, we would be able to do this. Will Supabase do it for us? We'll find out. Select suberr sounds ominous. All right, so let's await this. We're here. And console log, see what happens. This crashed, so no limits, I guess. Const here equals 3 for now. Let's console log the sub and see, did we get what we want? No. That's fair enough. So this user should be able to see this. Select the ID. Yeah, good. And then select from prices, star. Great. Is it like in here? And do like yet another one. Oh, I guess the answer is yes. We just needed to nest it here. What's the problem here? Why does this implicitly have any type? Should be fine. It knows what this is. It's ternary our way out. Oh, his price is just one thing? So you can't map it? Yeah, that's the one. Sure. And it can have many products or just one product? One product. It's called products. That's why I'm confused. It's like prices, but it's the prices table. It's actually one price. Yeah, they have one subscription. So the product is actually sub prices product name. So if there is no product, what are the possible products? Derive here from product. Let's make it here. If no product, return free. Product includes, or lowercase, includes pro, return pro. If it includes ultra, return ultra. And just return free again. So let's pass this. So I think we'll cook now, and the moment I save, this should disappear. Nailed it! So I think we now think that we are a pro user because I have the subscription. And we are deriving that we are on the pro tier. And then if I were to create like 10 interviews, like, should we try that? Let's try it. Let's do it live. Let's sell. Tell me your favorite companies, I'll add them there. Acme. So, created one. I'm thinking too much about these. What? Like I only know. Sony, Santa Monica, gaming companies. Truthful responses. That's not what I meant the core skills to be, but hey. It's a leap year. Out of 7, we're getting there. I always hate that in PHP. And keep it a secret. Is that a real skill? Who knows? Environmental writing, environmental storytelling. Yeah, that's a good one. Can I even spell it? You should spell if you want to be a writer, but maybe not. That's what editors are for. Got them. Right, so upgrade interviews. We need to recognize that you are on the pro tier here already and only so the ultra one. Yeah. So should we do that now? What's the agenda? We are deriving users tier. So what's going to happen if I get them through the checkout flow again? Let's click and find out. And I'll get to the customer portal if I do this. Interesting. So in this case, we will be doing billing management if you already have an account with us. Interesting. Let's log out. Let's log in with someone else. Let's log in with the in bucket. And the mailbox be example.com. And this person, Elena, let's get Elena in the ultra tier. With their credit cards. Now, I won't be creating 10 more interviews for Elena. We've proven that we've managed to do the tiers, let's say. But here we should say you already have premium, like on the profile, you already have premium, and also provide the link for Elena or anyone to manage their subscription. If they click here, they'll go through the flow for subscription management, I guess, which is not ideal. It's not ideal indeed. So instead of upgrade, we should be saying something else. So this endpoint should be good to go. Let's say they are on the premium page. Maybe on the server, we want to say something else. Maybe we also want to be checking what they have. Maybe we want to redirect them somewhere else. Not sure. It's like 3 different ways. If you have nothing, you should definitely be seeing this. If you have Pro, we still want to upsell you to Ultra. And if you have Ultra, we want to tell you that you're awesome. And we appreciate your support. Maybe we should show everything regardless, so then they can go through the flow. Not sure. It's like way different. Way different. Here on the profile, let's start from there. Profile. Page, user details. Here, we should say something. So here we want to say Max Premium, and we want to say plan their own. And if they are on a paid plan, we want to do something, or else we want to do something else. That's how it goes. So yeah, let's see, where else do we check the tier? We do check the tier in the interviews page. Where we do this. The best place to do it, so we do it in line somewhere, like here. Yeah, this will be refactored later. Oh, we just get the name here. Maybe we can return it as well. Yeah, we don't return the name. We have an we do have an API endpoint for the user emails. Maybe that's how we do it. Backend person. But no, we need the user session, right? But yeah, maybe that's the way. Maybe, but we cannot. And then, yeah, I'll need to think of this offline because I'm not quite getting it. So the subscription does have a user ID. Can I get the user ID here too? Get it from the session here. If they don't have a subscription, I won't be able to get it. So yeah, that's not quite gonna work. I can optimize this later, it doesn't really matter. Get the user here. Am I returning the tier from me? Going back and forth here. Yeah. It seems, if anything. It seems nothing. Oh. I just need to use these fets, the magic fets. Sure. So back to the UI. Currently in our UItra plan. Well done, Elena. And we can check. Can redirect them to the premium page. No biting. Close that paragraph here for sure. And then open a paragraph here. Close it. Open a paragraph here. And close it. And here we can have the link where you can manage your subscription, which could just be a form that does something. How does that sound? That sounds great to me. So in here, we're showing the information to the user that they are on this plan. If I was the other user, I should be seeing the pro plan here. And let's see, let's flip this around. Yeah, an underline here. Nice. Do I have like a relative link or something? All right. And here, I want to say manage subscription. Okay, but for that, let's look at the agenda. We are deriving the user's tier and allowing the premium features based on the subscription. Great, there is like some marketing copy, some copy that we need to update. I'll do this offline. But now let's allow the subscription manager with a customer portal. Here I have done the things with Stripe offline to enable this, and just a few settings you need to do. The fun thing is to create the link, which is going to be very similar to what we did with the checkout link. We breezed through that part, so hopefully we'll breeze through again. So I do think they even have it in this page, like create a portal session. So it's the same thing. What is it going to be? Yes, we should know this. We'll use SvelteKit form actions to create on the backend a link, redirect the user there, and then they're back. It's going to be very similar to what we did with the checkout stuff. So that's it, I guess. Maybe a different return URL, maybe return them to the profile. I guess that would make sense. All right, so where we did that, we did all of that in the pricing card. So let's steal that, plunk. But it will have to be named action. And I guess maybe the form button doesn't need a value or anything. In this case, we need to derive who the customer is on the backend. We don't need any more information from them. We have it automatically. So no name, no value, no nothing. But this, the difference is, it's going to be a named action, because in this page we also have the logout button, which is also a form action. So let's say that this is the manage sub action, and say manage your subscription. We won't have the session info stuff. We have the logout thing, so fair enough. All right, so clicking the button, SvelteKit form action. Let's take inspiration from what we've already done. We have the update name action, we have the logout function, and let's create the manage sub. Action. Let's look at the UI again. Here, let's put the manage sub. Let's camel case it just to make things easier for ourselves. In the pricing card, no, wrong. In the premium server file, we have this action. Let's copy it all together and paste it kind of wholesale. Profile server action here. Bring this error. Bring the Stripe client. Nosode validation no form data, no nothing. The customer email we won't need. What we do want is the customer ID. So we want the customer ID. So we want the Supabase client. Oh no, we don't want that one. Maybe we do want session. So the user ID should be session user ID. But then we want the admin Supabase client. And we want from the customers table, select the Stripe customer ID, match in the ID with the user ID, and that should always exist. There should never be an error here. If there is an error, log it. Cannot find a Stripe customer ID for this user. It's fair enough. And what we want to do is create a portal session. Previously we were creating a checkout session. The customer ID should be this. So maybe we can double check that this exists. And the return URL not this. Okay. The return URL should just be the profile, I guess. Not quite. Back to the profile page. So no portal session URL. Let's just log it. Now create custom portal session. Just log that. And redirect to the customer portal. So our calculations are correct. When you click here, you should be able to go to the Stripe customer portal, and we can update our plan. We can cancel it and be like, we don't want to pay anymore. We can update and go to like a previous plan. Oh, interesting. I wonder if there is like, how do you go to the other plan? Maybe because it's less expensive, you cannot go to that. Let's try to cancel. It should still be available. It should be active. So they've already paid. They're not getting money back. They can still recover and update their plan. I don't know why the other plans are not appearing. That's something to investigate. And you can return its own file. You're back here. But I guess here we could show more information saying that they're currently canceling. So let's see what we have here in the subscriptions. So this one has like a cancel at, like they canceled just now. And next year, they'll be back. Their subscription will fail, but they've already paid, so they still have like the ultra access, which is great. Great for everyone. But we should show some UI for this. We should have like a little alert. So we don't need this. So on the me endpoint, yet again, we can return the console app. Should be here. So email should always be there, no? Oh well. Not happy? Is it happy now? To grab my dog, but we're almost done for the day. What are you doing? We're almost done. Wait. Alright. It's trying to get on the table, which it doesn't do when we're eating. She's just curious and wants to play. So what I'm trying to do here, on the profile server file, I now should have access to the cancel app. I guess I will make it part of the user object at some point. And on the UI, but not a real thing. Should be. I guess we're not typecasting that response, which we should. It's me, let me type. That should be command keys. Great. So here, on my face, it is saying you cancel your subscription, but you will still enjoy the benefits until then. Format somewhere. Steal this formatter. This component, this section will be its own component at some point, for sure. What's this? Number date or undefined? I guess it's a number. This will crash for now, but I should update this guy. The me server file. Cancel that. If it exists, it should use the epoch twice thing. That'll extract it. Or maybe that's not the case. Invalid time value. Times 1000. It should be a nice string, no? Actually. Yeah, it is a nice string. What's the problem? So this string undefined or null should be fine, and here should be string undefined or null. Great. So what am I trying to do in the front end? What's happening? SP update. All right. Cool. We got there in the end. Cancel subscription, but you will still enjoy all benefits. Great. Let's log out and log in with our other friend, Tim Agripis. What a guy. And here they've not canceled, they don't see this, they can manage their subscription here. And they can update the plan. But it doesn't show the other plan, which is interesting. So that's something that I'll need to figure out. I'm sure there is like some plan management in Stripe. Because similarly, if I want to like upsell them here, then will they get an email in theory? Yeah, maybe the email flow just works, but who knows? In any case, they're on the Pro plan. We can get people from the free plan to Pro or Ultra. They can cancel the subscriptions if they want. They will be upsold during checkout from a monthly plan to a yearly plan, but I'll need to figure out how to cross-sell, like from Pro to Ultra, that sort of thing. I'm sure it's something in the Stripe dashboard. And I think that's all we really wanted for today, because we did this, we did this, so we did this earlier. And we sent them the customer portal. Great. And we added like a few of the indicators that they've subscribed or not. We should have a better page if they're already on a plan, and we should figure out how to upsell them better. And I had left an optimization here because you may have noticed at some point there is like a cookie appearing. I guess when it first comes from Stripe. Yeah, so whenever this image gets refetched from Stripe, they're trying to put in some cookies there. So storing them in our own Supabase bucket is a first step. Ideally, we would be using something like Cloudflare images to offer perfectly scaled versions, optimized versions of our images. Supabase has started to offer some of this, but I suspect it's going to be expensive. So we will be looking into it in the future. But for now, like we've done enough. Like I'll be cleaning up some of the UI and the patches and stuff. But I will be pushing this to production with real keys. So if you click around Zonify and you see this flow, put in real credit cards and you'll be charged real money. So watch out. Full disclosure. Cool. So I think we did make it far today. Thank you everyone for watching in this lovely, lovely Sunday. And we renew our live stream plans for Tuesday and Friday. Have lovely days, everybody. I'll